Welcome back to my Project Breakdown series. This time I'm very excited to talk about Twilight Glimmer, which is inspired by happy hardcore classics mixed with my trance-inspired spin. It features the first vocals I've written in Vocaloid, and I'm quite happy with how everything came together. Overall, this song was a blast to make. No better place to start than the vocals on this one, as they are front and center. To create them, I'm using a voice synthesis tool called Vocaloid. It's used heavily by digital artists like Hatsune Miku for a super stylized synthetic voice that can have some solid inflections. I wanted to keep the vocal lines simple and flowing, and created a few different sections with specific identities. I exported the Vocaloid take with no effects, then ran it through a fattening chain to bring it where I want it. Subtle 1-octave up and down shifts via Little Altar Boy and Inner Pitch, respectively, to thicken the sound, with automation for variation. Then it hits Nectar for some compression and light reverb. Mishby from Freak Show Industries adds some nice warble and brings all the layers of vocals together. There's also tons of automated reverb via this wash preset I love, occasional retriggers via Glitch 2, as well as some ducking from Flux Mini 2. There's also a lane of reverse tails for the vocals, as I love the ambience they create for this style. Let's move from the crisp high vocals down to the supporting low end. The bass is created in G-Sonic's Alien 303, which you'll catch me using all the time for basses and acids. It's simple, but powerful, and is a great way to get a tone dialed in fast. This one's called Sunbaked, and is all about decay automation. It allows the bass to gallop quickly or sustain out long sub-notes. Just a simple analog saw with a bit of glide, quick attack, and low cutoff and resonance values. As always, the bass gets processed through Quad Bass. It's my all-in-one bass treatment plugin from Arch Echo bassist Joe Calderone. Though it was developed for progressive metal and rock, I have had a lot of fun using it for my synth bass tones. I created this patch called Sun Shining, and it aims to really drive the mids forward while adding a crispy edge to the highs. A bit of gating and 2-stage compression, and I elected to turn off the output compression this time as I wanted to have a bit more variation in volume throughout, as well as because I knew it was going to get smooth operated anyway, and that adds a slight bit of compression as well. Finally, it gets tightened up with some flux automation when necessary. Alongside the bass at the foundation is the drums. They're mostly proper TR-909 samples with some additional percussion loops that I chopped and created for backing. Everything has effect automation such as pitch shifts and retriggering. There's a few different grooves and they're all fun and bouncy, and I think the drums on this one turned out great. They're all passed through IHNY2 for thickening up and parallel compression, and that amount is adjusted during breaks and drops for impact. Alongside the vocals as the star of the show, we have the synths that jam along with it. First up is Hit It, the trance chord preset I made by mashing together 2 hard pan Nexus patches and drenching them in multiple distortions. It starts out as an ethereal backing before coming to prominence as the focus of the second drop, and there's cutoff and resonance automation for classic filtered moments. Up next is Rave 3, another Alien 303 patch. This one has really heavy resonance and cutoff filtering, so it goes from mid-pluck to squelchy acid goodness. With some distortion from Ruina, and more stereo energy via Panman, it sounds great at transitions and when it's filling out drops. As far as the lead synths go, the final one is Fatal Stabbing. It's a chaotic stab sound made in random that plays a pretty consistent pattern to always center the song. I'd say a lot of this song's identity comes from the synth, and I enjoyed experimenting to make it what it is. I accentuated it with some Mishpi and Ruina, as well as Panman so that it has more stereo energy like Rave 3. Every song like this needs a central pad to bring that real euphoric vibe. Mine was made in Vert Verrier and is lush but harsh. It features really thick reverb from Fusion Field and some high-end sparkles from Crystallizer. Right below that is the ARP, Starp Fox, which is made in TB Peach, a classic console sound card emulator. It is arpeggiated by BlueArp with a pretty quick sequence and gets a really thick pass of delay and more filter automation for blending. The only acoustic instrument is the piano. It's a combination of 3 different piano patches from various VSTs layered in different octaves. The backbone of a happy hardcore track is that joyous piano plunking away, and it really provides that perfect head-bopping aura to the song. Of course, there's more Mishpi on the whole synth bus to bring all the synths off kilter just a tad. At the very top of the project is the icing, the effects bus. This is where the risers, impacts, ambience, and white noise live. It's all created by resampling elements of the song and affecting them with distortions, reverbs, flangers, you name it. Some of them are sidechained to the kick for clarity, while the impacts are kept in their own section for ultimate punch. The white noise is one long sample that I rendered out from a song-length MIDI clip that gets low and high pass filtering from a FabFilter Pro Q2 and pumping from Flux. Sound effects. If you've watched these breakdowns before, you already know what it's going to be. Acoustica Pro Studio Reverb. Tone boosters, reverb. Classic delay. Every sound gets varying amounts of send goodness, which are all sidechained against the kick for pumping during drops. The sends themselves also receive automation to reduce or increase their depth as needed. Master. On the master track, there's only a couple of plugins. The first is Transit, my transition and riser machine running a preset I called Crepuscular, named after the god rays sometimes emitted at Twilight. This patch basically pumps and blurs whenever I need the effect and comes in handy throughout the song. Finally, there's an EQ for global high pass filtering and a limiter to hit ideal levels. That's Twilight Glimmer. What did you think of the song and the breakdown? I really enjoyed writing with and using Vocaloid, and it has awakened something inside. I feel a lot more vocals coming in future songs. But I haven't decided which songs to release next, so if you've made it this far, let me know down below. Another happy hardcore inspired featuring vocals from Vocaloid jam, or a truly hardcore hit meant for the festival stage. Help me decide. Thanks so much for watching. Make sure to tune in next week for the teaser for whichever song makes the cut. See ya!